Hey guys, welcome back. It is your favorite Gimp with a Limp, and I'm here with another quick Kickstarter worth checking out. This is Resident Evil, the board game, which for some reason they just went kind of wonky on the numbers because I have already gotten the second and the third. So Resident Evil 2, Resident Evil 3 just actually shipped to people recently, and Steamforge was like, hey, we're going to be coming out with Resident Evil, the first one. So bam, here it is. Has been out for a few days. It's got 15 days left to go. Good stuff. About 3,000 backers, 700K. Definitely met their pledge goal. I mean, that wasn't really surprising as Resident Evil. And the games are fairly good. I gotta say, Resident Evil 3 is probably my favorite because I think it's got a little more replayability. I think 2 came with a little bit more stuff than 3 did, but 3 improved on some of the mistakes that 2 made, like 2 dark tiles, but that's neither here nor there. Hopefully they've learned from all their goofs and will come out with the best Resident Evil. Here's the last one. So just like we always do for the Kickstarters we're checking out, we will press play, and look, someone else just backed. Cool. And watch the video and then go through the Kickstarter real quick. Expand this out.
There are only 3 STARS members left now. Captain Wesker, Jill, and myself. We don't know where Barry is.
What was that?
Richard!
Resident Evil.
Alright, so here we go. That was the video. Do they have anything else? No, just sponsored by. Alright, so bam. Video looks pretty cool, and come on. I mean, anyone who's played video games will definitely remember Resident Evil. I remember I was teens, I guess, early teens, when that game came out, and I was so excited. I remember my brother and I actually went to Best Buy, and we had been trying to find Resident Evil forever, like so many different stores. And we went to Best Buy trying to get it for the PlayStation, original PlayStation, that gray clunk of junk. And we went in, and it was around Christmas time, and all the shelves were just skewed everywhere. People had knocked everything down. And as we walked up to the video game shelf, we moved one game out of the way because the rack that held Resident Evil was completely empty. But there was just a pile of games all over the shelves, and we moved that one game out of the way. There was one more copy of Resident Evil. We screamed like little girls. We were like, oh my God, we can't believe it. We grabbed it up, went right out. Mommy, Daddy, yay, we get to play it. We were so excited. And then we ended up bombing at the game because it was so much harder than we were able to deal with. But we did really good at Resident Evil 2, especially playing that back-to-back. We put up a couple of PlayStations. next to each other. Each of us had a TV, and one was playing one campaign while the other was playing the other campaign. So we kind of figured out what was going on together. That was fun. That was back in the day when video games, were wholesome. All right. Anyway, I say wholesome as zombies eating each other. The backing levels, it is $100, which I think is a bit high, honestly. If I'm being truthful on what you're getting, I think they're charging a bit much for the basic pledge, and that's the core box and stretch goals. That's it. That's it. And for the all-in pledge, which is all the extra stuff, $300. I think they went way too costly on this. The first two, I keep saying the first two, but Resident Evil 2 and 3, the board games did not cost this much, and I'm kind of wondering what they're thinking. But the games are good, so I want to get it. But I'm definitely not getting above this level. This is whack. Okay, hold up. Before we scroll down, let's see. Comes with the core game, Into the Darkness expansion, Bleak Outpost expansion, 3D terrain pack, which I think is kind of superfluous. There's tokens in the game to represent that. Game trays upgrade, and that's exclusive. Here's the thing. Resident Evil 3 came with trays already in the box. So are they going to have no trays in this one? Or is it going to be like cheap trays or crappy trays or nothing? I don't know. You shouldn't have to pay for storage for the game, like extra, like add-on. I think that's bad. Neoprene player mats, I'm fine with that. Retro expansion pack, that's the one thing I've always gotten with each one of these, so I'll probably be getting that as well. And I think the cost is a little high on that as well. Free gift, the Rebecca, because the monster box is just extra monsters, extra dice is just extra dice. Why doesn't everyone get the free gift? It's like, really? One mini you're not going to give to people? Yeah. Let's see, 1,800 there, 700 there. It's just 300 is way too much, I think. What is it, inflation? What the hell's going on that it is this much? 200 would be, I think, high for this level. I just don't think they're providing the amount of stuff, should we say, to warrant that cost. That's my personal opinion. If you guys disagree, by all means, feel free to put it below. If you've played any of the previous board games, this in the series 2 and 3, this is not going to be any huge surprises for you. They're just doing, the first game. The components are all going to be similar, interchangeable, all that good stuff. Enter the Sinister Mansion. I do like how Jill's ability is the master of unlocking. It shows that down below. That crappy line that Barry said, "You, the master of unlocking." Who the hell said that? Such corny lines back in the day. I really loved it. Campaign and one-shot play, scenario maps, just like they had in the previous games. Once you've chosen to open a door, will the card depicting the room beyond be revealed? Wow, cool. So, stuff like that we've seen before. Now, this is a little bit different in the fact that the map, I think, was generally laid out. I know in 2 it was laid out. In 3, the Mercenaries mode, it was randomized, which I really think gives that one so much more replayability. Very, very cool. This might give this one a little replayability if it changes. But if it's always going to be the same thing, then you're probably only going to get 1 or 2 plays out of it. Which, again, I think the cost is a bit much. Leave room unexplored, and you may wish you hadn't. There could be a precious item beyond the door, like a lighter or extra ammo. Can you afford not to look? Yeah, but you go in there, and there's going to be like 10 zombies. Can you afford to look? Entering this room may spawn 3 unknown enemies, but you won't know for sure until it's too late. Can you take the risk? It's a campaign game playable over 27 hours, where every decision counts and has far-reaching consequences. Really cool. Solve puzzles to open pathways. I think they're trying to kind of hark back to the original a little more in this one, where you, excuse my Adobe there, where there was more of that puzzle aspect, get the keys, find the right spot to put it. We'll have to wait and see how the game actually plays. Evolving decks and Rising Danger. That's going to be the tension deck, just like they had in the previous ones. If the level gets too high, the mansion's overrun, higher level enemies. They had that in the 3rd and the 2nd. They've kind of evolved it. There's been small changes here or there in the course of the games as you've gone on, but it will most likely be very similar. Non-player characters and missions. That's kind of cool. Brad Vickers is in this. Nice. You're not alone in the mansion. As you explore, you'll come across familiar faces and events and new locations with outcomes determined by your decisions. But as we scroll down, you'll see in some of the expansions why that's kind of a thing. Terrifying bosses. Let's see. Bosses are powerful enemies, unique rules, AI-driven card decks. Can you keep Lisa Trevor at bay long enough to solve the puzzle of her crypt? And can you take down the T002 Tyrant? Which I can't remember. Was that the final boss or not? I don't think it was. I can't remember for sure. I know you had the rocket launcher, but I think that was the bigger enemy. There's so many Resident Evils, you can't keep track of them. Bosses may be powerful, but they aren't the only threat. Limited kerosene supply may be all that stands between you and certain death. As you weave your path through the mansion, the bodies you don't burn may come back to bite you, literally. Ha, cool. In the darkness lies your fears. Can you fight them and survive? And then it shows some of the minis here. Now, this shows a little bit more about what comes with the pledge levels. Bravo Pledge, which is the one that I'm looking at probably getting because I got to round out my collection here of all the Resident Evil board games. And that's what I'm saying. Look, I mean, 4 player characters, 28 enemies, the tiles, cards, tokens. That's it. That's not $100 worth, unless they're bringing out some shit hot Kickstarter stretch goals to kind of flesh that out a little bit. Because I don't know whether this is inflation or this is shipping cost being kind of bled into it, but I really think they're shooting high. This should be more towards 80. I believe, if it was more in line with what we would have paid not even 6 months ago. So yeah, they're a little high. It's going to be the characters you expect. Redfield, Valentine, right here. Look, Master of Unlocking. Jill can unlock a door if another character has the corresponding key in their inventory. Cool stuff. Rebecca Chambers and Barry Burton. I always like Barry because he's real good with his gun. And the enemies that come with it, the lickers, and then a bunch of zombies, and what, like 2 dogs? Look at this. It's zombies, 2 dogs, 2 bosses, and the lickers. That's it. The hunters, that's what they were called. I just don't think that's up to the amount that they're charging for it. And it does look like this has more specific game tiles related to specific locations versus the more generic ones that they had in the other games. And then this is the Rookie Rebecca, but only for free gift for returning 2 and 3 board game backers. So I'll get that, but I think that should be included in all the pledges. Just personal opinion. Alpha all-in pledge. So everything that we just talked about before, plus this other crap. Retro pack, I like because it has all the cards and everything looking like the video game, which honestly I kind of wish I'd done that to begin with. But I understand because the games have been remade so many times that not everyone harks back to this era like I do. Let's see. The Into the Darkness expansion adds 2 boss monster miniatures, 100 cards, 1 rule book, and 4 tiles. That's it. I don't think that's all that much for what they're asking. And this one adds the same thing, Bleak Outpost, and they're basically adding the bosses from the first game, like the snake, the big spider, the shark, the plant thing. They're adding those into the game, but that's part of the core Resident Evil experience. Now, this stuff is superfluous. You can get it if you want it, and it doesn't matter if you don't. It's not going to change the game experience. It'll just make it look a little cooler. If you've got a 3D resin printer, though, you can print out most of components that are very similar to these. Like I've printed out my own doors that I use, and they work just well. So that's kind of up to you if you want that. Retro pack, which I do like, which I'll get. Game trays. What? You guys put in the comments. Have you ever seen game trays like this as a add-on? Ever? I never have. Ever. Now, maybe I've missed other games that have done it. Now, I've seen like the wooden ones, like the high-end storage components as an add-on, right? That's fine. But the plastic trays, the friggin' miniatures go in, you're charging for that now? Seriously? No, I don't agree with that. I think they're making some bad calls on this Kickstarter, and it's going to get them a little bit of bad will. The neoprene player mats, cool, great. I think that's a nice idea for those who do want to get it. and unlocks. Now they're doing a different path thing here where people are voting on it and what they're going to get. I'm waiting until my next paycheck because we just got back from vacation and I'm pretty well tapped to back this. So I'm not going to be voting on it for a little while, but then it shows this as you're going to kind of do a little path down to pick what you want. The community's making choices to see what it is, what the stretch goals are. So I can't even tell you if the stretch goals are going to be worth what that extra cost is yet. Next to unlock is Army Jill. And see, what I kind of don't like is when they have just different varieties of the characters you already have. Like, I don't want to have a box that has 3 Chris's and 4 Jills in it. A couple of Jills, fine. A couple of Chris's, fine. But put something new in there. Put, Wesker. Put whatever. Put something I don't already have. All right. Your first choice will be made 1800 BST. Have no idea where that is in October 27th. So a couple of days from the time of recording. Add-on marketplace. So if you just want to pick and choose on some of these, $50 an expansion. Are you crapping me? Are you crapping me here? $50 for 2 miniatures and a couple of tiles and a few cards. That's it. Same here, $50. The game trays is $25. There better be some shit hot damn game trays. The retro expansion pack is $30. I believe it was half that in the previous 2 Kickstarters. It was like $15 for that. The dice, 12. It's about in the ballpark. I think they were like 8 previously, but somewhere around there. But I know the retro pack, the expansion, these are just cards. That's all it is, just cards. Was not $30. It was somewhere around 15 to 20, maybe 20 at the high end. Neoprene mats, 4 for $25. I think that's fair. Terrain pack, $55. Close. Yeah, that's good enough. This is just extra monsters, but honestly, I think if you've already got the previous games, there's no reason you shouldn't have plenty of monsters. Oh, it looks like it comes with 4 dogs, not 2. You should have plenty of zombies and any other stand-ins you need. Dogs, whatever. If you already backed the others, the monster box is one you can absolutely skip, by all means. And then you can extra pledge other copies of the game if you want. I don't think they got a flat-out retail pledge, like for retailers. Doesn't look like it. Just base and the all-in. And then there are a few videos, their videos, and then some other people playing. Never the Gimpy, because Gimpy's too damn small, because I cover mainly obscure games, but I do have something that I like. I do like that they have the rule book available so you can kind of see, but if you've played the previous games, then you know. What do they say about shipping? The pledge prices shown above don't include shipping, but do include duties and taxes. We won't charge any extra VAT or duties on the pledge manager. Nice. Yes, shipping is volatile. We know. Here's our best estimate of the cost for shipping. Okay. Let's see. USA mainland, 14 to 17 pounds, which what? That's 25 or so. That's decent, actually, on the shipping cost. But that's for the Bravo pledge. So I would estimate anywhere between 40 and 50 if you do an all-in. So, yeah, just depending on what you get, probably estimate at least $25, $30 minimum shipping, right, for this one. And we'll just have to see how that pans out. And I think they're planning on delivering March 23. Ooh, that's a little farther out than I thought. But things are going a little slow, and we've got a few more backers. All right, so that's it. That's the Resident Evil board game. Looks good. Look, if you've played 2 and 3, you know whether or not you want this already. It's real easy for you to make your choice. My only problem with it is I think they are fairly overcosted by like 15-20% on most of their items. I don't know. Maybe they took a loss on 3. Maybe they're trying to recoup some of that. Maybe the other costs have gone up that I'm unaware of, and it's causing this to go the way that it's going. We'll just have to see how other Kickstarters go, but I'm just like, damn, you know, I got it for 20 before. Now I got to pay 30. It wears on you after a little while. Your money doesn't go up that quick, you know, not as quick as they're charging. All right, you guys comment down below. Let me know what you think. Talk to you guys in the next one.